Sometimes you gotta close the door to open a window.
How many chapters will Gota and Megumi fight? Honestly, I'm going to hedge my bets and I'm going to say 3 bare minimum. We have to look at everything that's going on right now. We have Sukuna, he's got 0 RCT, he's got 2 arms, possibly a scuffed domain, a hole in his heart, and the same levels of cursed energy as Yuta. And while that isn't crazy scary, you have to top that all off the fact that Yuta is now piloting Gojo's body, and as we've already seen, Gojo was able to push Sukuna to a point where Sukuna had to gain a new way to land his slashes on Gojo to even do serious damage to Gojo. But now Sukuna can't even fire that slash anymore as a result of him having 2 arms. You factor that into the fact that not only has Yuta watched the entire fight of Gojo vs Sukuna as a spectator, he'll now have the memories of Gojo from inside that fight and all of Gojo's internal thoughts that he might not have said out loud or thought for when Yuta does take over the body, meaning we'll see a Yuta who just got a shit ton of knowledge on Sukuna, a new body, an extremely difficult case technique to deal with, versus Sukuna who's, quite frankly, looked better. So yeah, I'm saying 3 chapters, especially when you consider the possibility that Yuji and Todo might actually jump into this fight here alongside Rika. Speaking of which, do you think Rika is in the background to surprise Sukuna? I'm going to keep it a stack. Honestly, I'm not sure what happens with Rika at this point, but I would be willing to bet that Rika stays with him. When Yuta was getting ready for the transfer here, he apologized to Rika for transferring it over to his other hand. And then when Yuta appeared on the battlefield, similarly, we didn't get to see the hand, we didn't get to see the ring on the hand here that Rika had manifested from. And we know the 5 minutes is going, it's active right now because Rika has to be fully manifested for him to use the copy technique, for him to use Kenjaku's technique. So Rika could be out there meeting, and this all means, by the way, if Rika is out there and around, then we've now got a Yuta with a 6 eyes, limitless, a fully manifested Rika for 5 minutes, or maybe even longer, which leads me into the next question for this member video. By the way, if you've not already, subscribe. We just crossed 30k subscribers. We're sailing up to 31. It's pretty fucking cool if you ask me. 40k would be pretty fucking huge. Anyway, enough shameless plugging. What do you think happens in the end with Yuta here? Stuck in Gojo, death, etc. Well, I'm going to be totally honest here. I genuinely believe that this is Yuta's final form. I genuinely think he ends up staying in Gojo's body forever. There is a theory that is floating around within the community right now that Yuta has swapped bodies, and because of that, a binding vow with Rika has ended. Thus, there is no more 5-minute time limit. Now, I'm not entirely convinced on that one. I'm just going to keep it real with you. Again, I'm open, very open to be proven wrong on this in the comments down below, but I'm almost certain there is no mention of Yuta having a binding vow with Rika after JJK 0 in regards to her manifesting for the 5 minutes here. Now, I am not ruling it out because that, you know, it's gay, you know, let's not rule it out. But with how specific he is with binding vows and within the writing of his story here in regards to binding vows, something like this would have been mentioned, I believe. But at this point in the story, you definitely can't rule it out. Let's be real here. It could have been spare of the moment, who knows? As I truly do believe we are going to get to see the major form soon. So that means Yuta will need to stick around in Gojo's body, I'm assuming. If Yuta gains Gojo's memories, do you think him revealing Toji's life story to Megumi will reawaken him or give him a purpose to gain back control, kind of like how Todo always does for Yuji when his will breaks? I probably should have answered this one a little bit earlier on in the video here, but yes, I do. I think Yuta being in Gojo's body will be the catalyst for a lot of Gojo related lore here. Remember, there was a point in an interview where JJK said that Gojo should be the one that tells Megumi about his father. Technically, it is Gojo that would tell him about his father, because I'm going to assume that they have the same voice. Because I just can't see when the anime comes around, I can't see Yuta replacing Gojo's voice actor, considering how iconic he is. I just can't see that. It would be pretty poetic here if Toji, being the one person who broke the chains of fate previously, ends up breaking the chains of fate for Megumi, his own son, who is now shackled to fucking Sukuna by these same chains. I think that'd be pretty cool. But going further in on Gojo's memories here, I'm throwing out a prediction. I'm throwing out that Yuta here, using his body, will be the catalyst to give us Gojo's final moments. Because in typical JJK fashion here, he loves to explain stuff in a flashback. That's just how he rolls. But in 236, Gojo was obviously off screen. We didn't get to see those final moments. We didn't get to see the attack landing. We got to see Gojo wins, Gojo's dead. We never got to see the in-between panels of what happened between those. So I'd like to think that Yuta is probably going to think back to that moment and we'll have it revealed to us. I hope, at the very least here. What do you expect or think the end will be? Are we even closer to the end? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I am genuinely super conflicted here. because there's two theories that I really fuck with at the moment. And number one is that we see the Major, and it turns out Kenjaku is reincarnated, because genuinely, something tells me we've not seen the last of this dude. I know his brain, his head was eaten by Rika, but let's be fucking real here. Being eaten in the series doesn't necessarily mean you're Gonskis. Sukuna has been munched on so many fucking times. Pause. Why did I just say that out loud? Anyway, Sukuna has been swallowed. Pause. Oh my god. Anyway, Sukuna's fingers have been floating around. It just gets worse the more I say it. It just gets worse. Jesus fucking Christ, I hate myself. Anyway, Sukuna's been floating around for a long time right now, and obviously he's been splitting himself into soul pieces here in the fingers, the fragments. The guy who taught him that was Kenjaku, so I'm genuinely not ruling out that Kenjaku hasn't split his soul somewhere. I think he either reincarnates out of Tengen or maybe Megumi. I don't know. It's crazy. But anyway, speaking of Megumi, theory number 2 here is Megumi ends up becoming the final villain. Now, this one is definitely the most far out theory out there, 100%. But Megumi deciding to erase all Jujutsu sorcerers and curses from the world. I'm not going to lie, that would be pretty par for the course right now. Given that this dude, in his mind, has nothing left to fight for. Everything that he was fighting for, it's gone now. I mean, even when he met up with Yuji in that soul realm there, he just said, enough. I don't want to do this anymore. I genuinely can't blame him. He's gone through a fucking shit ton. Him and Yuji genuinely have been through the worst suffering of this series. Like, so this dude has every reason to erase everything and everyone with him, and even with him as well being in the body of Sukuna for like 2 months, I think now. November, December, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. He's going to have some power up when he comes back, especially when you consider that when Yuji has learned all of this just from like a few minor takeovers from Sukuna, Megumi has been inside the body of Sukuna right now, and he is for everyone. Megumi has experienced open domains, domain amplification, extreme energy manipulation. Bro, this dude, he will come back as fuck. But do I think we're close to the final arc? Fuck no. No, absolutely not. As I've said plenty of times right now, I don't think this manga is going anywhere. I don't think Shonen are letting this go before, like, giving us a big announcement here. It's just simply too big. When you look at it right now, One Piece and JJK are the two big, weekly big hitters that Shonen has left in its tank. Let's be real here, because My Hero Academia is wrapping up. It's in the epilogue right now. One Piece has entered its final saga, and JJK has no announcement for a final arc anytime soon. There is nothing else that is pulling in the numbers like these big series right now. I mean, you have Boruto, but that's monthly, so it doesn't really count. For the weekly side of things, I don't think Shonen are letting this thing go without announcing it anytime soon. Do you still feel we will see Yuji land the final blow on Sukuna, or are we thinking Yuta ends Sukuna and Yuji fights off the Major? I'm going to be honest, if after everything it has put Yuji through, if Yuji isn't the one to punch the fuck out of Sukuna and put the final nail in the coffin, I'm going to be very annoyed. I'm going to be extremely annoyed. I can't lie. This boy has earned his retribution. Retribution. Good lord. I am brain dead. Anyway, this dude has earned his retribution against Sukuna. At the very least, I'd like him to be the one that puts Sukuna away. But again, we'll just have to see what Gege has in store for us. Do you have any headcanons on what Yuki's domain could have been? Honestly, no. How do you make a domain expansion around mass? When I think about it, the only thing that comes to my mind is having something similar to maybe Kenjaku's domain, where it basically just makes everything heavier, a bit lighter. I'm genuinely not sure. I'll pass that question off to you guys in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you think Yuki's domain, what do you think it could have been? That one for me, I think it's quite hard to imagine. I'm just going to keep it a real stack with you there. It's the same as with the blood manipulation domains. I always imagine the blood manipulation domain to be something similar to Chimera Shadow Garden, but blood. Instead of it being liquid shadows, you kind of force the blood of anyone that's caught in the domain to act against them. Yeah, it's a strange one. Anyway, yeah, that's everything from me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe. As it always does help me out. As always, massive shout out to the members on the channel. You get to be in the member videos. You get to flex on people over the plebs in chat and streams. By the way, the streams are getting more and more regular now. We're doing Shonen Sundays every Sunday, where we'll read the JJK chapters, Kagurabachi, Sakamoto Days, all the other big series every Sunday. The previous stream is up, so if you want to go watch that, you're more than welcome. But anyway, yeah, that's everything from me. As always, make sure to go drink some water. Go tell somebody you fucking love them. As always, I will catch you guys all in the next one. Much fucking love. Big fucking kisses. Peace.